Hello, hello, hello. So after watching several reviews where they were comparing like Blade and Soul versus Black Desert versus other Korean MMOs, and I was looking back trying to think of, you know, basically endgame content. And for this game, you know, when you talk about Korean games, you're talking about the grind and everything else. Well, in this one, you know, we're at the end. This quest down here, Yuri's letter, you know, you run through it, can't go any further. That's the end of the story for right now. You know, until next expansion or whatnot comes out. So what do you do until that time comes? Well, you work on your gear. So, as you can see, I'm almost, what is this one? Almost got it to 45. And then you got your trinkets. And this stuff gets expensive. I mean, 13 gold. So right now you're in Farmville. You know, there's no other way of saying it. Well, how do you do that? So if you press J, right now, Black Ram Shipyard, doing all these quests. You can do all these quests in about 30 minutes. And, whoops, it's over here. So, quest person gives you the quest, you go in, take care of it, bam, you're done. That's one way. And the other way, you go into the dungeon lobby. This is probably the best way of getting, probably about 5 gold. If you're really lucky on drops. And I mean, I've gotten more. So, the Black Ram, you get about 2 gold. But here, you can go in, and what I do is I start out with something stupid. Generally, I start out with just doing all these, but Teetering Falls, you just, you know, click it, look for a group, bam, there's a group. You know, whether they start out with this one or they actually go into the dungeon with just the poor man, it really doesn't matter. But, yay, you got in. Jesus Christ, all the gold spammers. So, we'll wait a second, just so you can see. And the annoyance behind this. This one's annoying, because fucking dog disappears. Anyways, I didn't cuss. This is PG. Wait, all I do is say it once. Anyways, so, take you in here, and wow, there's an NPC here. With a daily. Instead of having to go around everywhere on the map, you can just go in here and do every dungeon if you feel like it. It's free money. It's not costing you anything to go into here, and you're done. So you have Black Rams, you have the dungeons, and you can keep doing the same dungeon over and over, but you can only do the daily once, obviously. Then after that, doing your faction missions. Those pay out as well, but you have to wear your faction uniform, and we all know what that means, boys. PvP. So you will get the assholes that just want a PvP, and you can be the asshole that just wants the PvP. But when you're doing the quests, and you know, like going into low level areas, it may sound dumb, but you get about 400 faction points by the time you're done with all of them a day. It's not too bad. You just gotta watch out, because you're in lower areas, especially if you're high level. You know, why are you harassing them? So they don't even stand a chance. But again, and we will fast forward it through all this, blah 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 blah. Voila, we are done. Alright, So now that we're done, we just click that to get the reward for actually doing the dungeon. Yay! Doing dungeons. And then from there, yep, you guessed it. Instead of hitting OK, we just go over here, turn it in, grab whatever it is that we want to grab. We can even go over here. We have the bank, an NPC, and then over here is for repairing weapon. And hit shift to B. Moving to dungeon lobby. And you just pick your next one and go. And if you want, you can, pick like 3 of them, click it, and then whatever one is quickest, it will actually go to. So pretty much you have Black Rams, dungeons, and then doing, like I said, your faction quests. And you're pretty much done with your dailies. It takes about 2 hours to do all of it. The only one would be dungeon-wise, the Black Ram dungeon, when you go with the 6-man or 4-man if you're really geared or you know your stuff. That one, hopefully you don't get a troll squad, because generally it's, yeah, or Pixty. Pixty tends to wipe people, because you get some jackass that doesn't pull the first boss over into the corner, so everybody gets pulled away from the boss. Fun times with poison. Anyways, that's pretty much what in-game content is. So my point to this, or the reason for this video, is this game really doesn't have anything. When you hear about story, oh, it's a great story. It's the same story between Jin, Gold, and all of them. So you start in the same area. It's always the same thing. There is no change. Kind of linear. Questing, kind of the same. Oh, but this has dungeons, versus some of the other ones, like Black Desert. Well, I'm sorry, but you can have dungeons, and you can have junk. A lot of the dungeons are junk. They're really simple, they're really stupid, and at this point in time, with everybody only being at level 45, doesn't take long to get there, they go quickly. Oh, getting gear. Getting gear isn't that difficult. It becomes expensive once you get into 35, 38. It really starts costing you. But again, doing your dailies. So this game is PvP. You get it every step of the way. Even quests like right here, World Martial Arts Tournament daily. It's always trying to get you to do PvP in some fashion, some way. It is a PvP game. The PvE side of it, there really isn't much of anything. Other than farming up your gear, getting the clothes, and that's about it. Because when it's all said and done, even the crafting system on here is pretty much shit. Like these guys. I'm already at level 3, and white cedar sap, 20 hours. Then you go over here. Whenever I get to it, another 12 hours just to make pickaxes from that. And then you need the faction dailies just to get these. So there's no way around it. You have to do, faction stuff. So you have to be in PvP. Black Desert, open world PvP. And I'm not sure how exactly they're going to work it for NA. But, between them all, story and other things. Yes, this one's got great combat. And so does Black Desert, since those two seem to be getting referred to a lot. But it's night and day differences. This one is cartoonish versus Black Desert. This one, yes, does have a PvP mechanic and tournaments, but it doesn't have, world or guild versus guild. It doesn't have dungeon siege. So two different atmospheres. That one's a sandbox. This one isn't. So what are the dailies? There you go. You can do dailies in roughly about 2 hours. And crafting is pretty much a joke. So after that, it's basically goofing off, farming things, or PvP in this. There's really no endgame content that I have found yet. And I've been playing this game for a while now. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.